All right. Well, this is gonna be like a little bit of a tough podcast for me because I didn't prepare as much as I usually do, and I've had like a scrambled, crazy kind of day. I'm gonna tell you guys.
Mm.
So I have a new family member. I gotta show you. Hold up. Give me
Well,
a sec.
You got a dog, bro?
Oh,
I think a cat, wasn't it? Wasn't he trying to go for a cat?
I thought you said he was going to get a dog.
Oh, I thought it was a
But we'll
cat.
see. I
Oh,
guess we'll see right now. It's going to be a surprise to both of us.
it's gonna be a surprise to you, Vlad. And this is not the same dog from before.
oh, it's a dog.
Trust me.
Oh, what is in the world? What?
It's not the same dog that I used to have, but it looks like her. I know it's kind of scandalous. Like if my old dog saw me with this new dog. It's like literally the same exact dog.
It's a girl, and where did you get her?
I got her off someone on
Oh,
Craigslist,
just.
to be honest.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, her name is Elora. Elora.
Yeah.
Actually, her full name is Her Royal Highness the Sacred Princess Elora.
Okay.
But now, do you know how old she is?
She's 6 months old, but she's a little freaked out right now. It's her first day in my apartment. It's a little weird, you
Oh,
know.
Just got it. You just
But
got her earlier today, huh?
yeah, but I'm gonna try to. She's really quiet though. I think I could still do the show without her bothering us.
She wasn't barking or anything.
She doesn't bark yet. She's just a little
Oh
tiny
yeah, yeah,
puppy.
yeah. Six
But
months. Yeah.
but yeah, she's real
Well,
cool.
well,
So
well.
she's gonna be over there.
Congratulations, Ken. You have a new
I
member
know,
of your
yeah,
household.
number to your
yeah. Right
family.
before work, I went to go get her, and I had to like rush over there, grab it, and I left it with my sister for the day while I was at work. So it's like the first time hanging out with her. But she's
Oh, that's
real
cool. That's
easygoing
cool.
so far. But she's young, so I don't know. Maybe she might get an attitude later. But nowadays, she just sits here, which is kind of cool with me.
Yeah.
He's kind of
She,
chunky.
she'll. Oh,
He's a little
she'll
fat,
be.
so
Oh, okay.
he's a little lazy.
If
But
she,
that's fine. That's
she's
fine with me. I'm fine
she's
with
the
having a
same.
lazy dog.
She's the same breed as your other dog, right, or something, or similar breed.
I know, isn't that terrible? It's like if
I've never seen your previous dog, so I don't remember. Maybe I have.
no, I don't think you met her. I used to have a dog with my ex, but when we broke up,
Oh,
she took the dog. But
man.
um, yeah, it's kind of I don't know. It was kind of funny to get the same exact dog. It's like as if you is this. It's as if you lost a blonde girlfriend and you just replaced her with another blonde girl.
That's hilarious, dude. Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyways, we're here to talk wrestling. We're the Malapert
Uh,
Smarks. We
Wrestling.
are disrespectful lowlifes who've never been in the wrestling business, but we're gonna start making fun of them tonight for their episode of Dynamite. And I guess we'll talk a little WWE too. You want to talk Roman Reigns, guys? I thought we'd bring that up as our sole WWE topic for the day. Roman Reigns entering the tag title picture. What do you think about that, Vlad? Let's start with Vlad. Let me put a minute on the clock for you, huh? Because we got to get this show done
sure,
quicker today. 1 minute.
sure. What do I think about the angle of him being in the tag? I think it's pretty good. Like it builds the tension with the Usos, and obviously it continues the feud that's been was successful for them with with Sammy. I did say I was sick of it, but throwing Roman in there and that kind of adds a new wrinkle to it, and makes it a pretty good pay-per-view match. That's going to be pretty interesting. So I support it. I like it. I don't have any issues with it. I think
Good
it's
segment they had
you
on
know
SmackDown the other day.
that's right. That's right. It was a good segment. It led to a lot of it was probably the only worthy thing of on SmackDown that I consider interesting. So yeah, all in all, it's pretty good. and I have no problems with the angle.
All right, Robert. I assume you're caught up with what's going on. What do you think of
Oh,
Roman Reigns going for the
actually,
tag
I'm
team
not.
championship?
I'm not. I didn't know that Roman Reigns was thrown into the tag title picture until you told me about it. The last time I watched any WWE was Backlash, and then I haven't seen anything WWE related ever since. Um, I mean, so I don't know the angle. I'm from what I heard that he was thrown into the tag title picture. I guess that's interesting, but I have no idea what the angle is. So
Well, the angle, let me fill you in for a minute since you didn't see it. He says that the Usos keep failing, so it's up to him and Solo now to go protect the honor of of the bloodline. You know, yeah, he thinks they can do it. So, and then he pie faced Jay Uso, right? Or Jimmy? Was it Jimmy or Jay Vlad? He pie faced one of them.
It was Jimmy. It was Jimmy. It was Jimmy, I believe.
okay, that's an interesting angle.
Yeah, and it looked like really close, like he was gonna retaliate about it, but he didn't. So, I'll put a minute on the clock for myself for this. I mean, I like it because, I like it only because Roman's not going to be defending the title much lately, right? These days, the Universal title, I guess that's going to be a title that's defended once every 4 months or something. So I guess he has time to do it. I mean, I always wondered why world champions didn't want to go for the tag title to just, prove that they're really good, but it's usually really hard to mix in a tag team championship run with a world title run. But since he's not defending the title, he's not doing crap, I guess it's good, It's better than just him sitting around. And the scenes with him and the Usos are always great, but I'm just thinking, when is this all going to blow up? Supposedly, in the end, the Usos are finally going to be like that. They've had enough, right? When is that going to happen? Next year? A year from now? I guess? Are they going to drag this out like that long? But I don't know.
Yeah.
After Roman has the title, after Roman has held the title for 1,000 days.
Is that what they're going for? 1,000? Maybe 2,000. Why not 2,000? Huh? Make him the greatest of all time.
It's a little too long, but okay.
All right, well, that's our WWE talk for the day. Not too much, but let's go to AEW now. I assume you watched it, Robert, because you're here today. Because usually,
yes, I did watch it, but I did doze off on a few segments. More so because I was really tired. You know how my schedule's been lately, right? So it was more so because I was really tired.
If it was really good, maybe you would have held your attention.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah. Okay. So there is gonna be stuff that I missed. I'll tell you that.
That's all right. I'll fill you. I'll fill you in. I'll fill you in. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Vlad, you also watched it, I assume.
Let's
just get the story straight here.
I did watch it this morning. I didn't doze off because it was in the morning, but I definitely was trying to get through it because just before I started working. So I definitely forwarded it quite a bit. So I would say I didn't take as ample notes as I usually do on most Dynamites, but I got the gist of it pretty clearly. So
well, it was a loaded show. A lot of stuff in it. I had to take notes because I wouldn't have been able to remember all this. So
yeah,
let's get started. We got 8 angles that we're gonna go through here for this, and we're gonna leave one of them out. I'll let you know which one that I didn't think was worthy of making the show. But we'll start with, this is May 17th, 2023, AEW Dynamite, and it started out with Wardlow confronting Christian, which was a hot segment in my opinion. I thought it was going to start with Orange Cassidy like usual, which I wouldn't have minded. But so Wardlow comes out to the ring and he immediately wants Christian to come out and face him because Christian said some mad shit the other day, right? He said he was going to spit in his face. Really, everyone should have been waiting for this segment, like, immediately to see, like, is Christian going to spit in his face? Anyways, so this angle today had 2 segments. It had the confrontation, the fight. They were Wardlow was about to get spat on by Christian, but it turned into a confrontation, a physical fight, and Wardlow got chokeslammed through a ladder by Luchasaurus. And then later on in the show, they had the second segment for this angle where Wardlow was backstage in the trainer's room and hurt, and he challenged Christian to a ladder match for the pay-per-view. So, Vlad, this whole angle for the day, all of it together, what do you think? I'll go with Vlad first. We'll start with Vlad. 1 minute.
This is a tough one. I don't know. I thought it was all right. It was pretty good. Like, it kind of kept my attention to start the show. I mean, it's better than starting the show with Orange Cassidy. This is actually at least a wrestling segment, a wrestling situation going on here, and something that people should kind of care about. You got a Christian who is a great heel when he wants to be. Wardlow, who could be a good babyface, possibly. Hard to say. He has the potential. Just something's missing with that character. I don't know if it's the booking or what have you. But, it ended up being, a pretty good wrestling segment. They got some pretty good heat. They beat him up. I mean, Wardlow, Christian and the dinosaur over there beat him up and got some good heat, and it ended up being a good segment. What did they do? They did the thing with the ladder. They beat him up on the ladder. They hit him with the ladder. All in all, not bad. I would say I'll give it a thumbs up on the segment overall.
All right, Robert, how about you? Any thoughts about this one? Do you like this?
Yeah, I thought it was a good way to start the show. Christian was doing great heel work, and regarding Wardlow, I remember was it a year or two ago? He had some really good momentum, but then I don't know what happened. I guess it was the booking, but then he just lost all of it. So he needed some sort of interesting angle to regain some momentum. So I guess this is not a bad way to start. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty decent way to start the show.
All right. I'll give myself a minute because I'm a huge Christian fan. Hold on. Restart the clock. Big Christian fan, in case you didn't know, Robert. As a Smark, Christian is my number 2 favorite wrestler of all time.
Yeah, okay.
Love Christian, man. I think he's so cool. He's so funny. Like that when he came out and they had that confrontation and they started jaw jacking, and he was about to spit on him, right? He was getting the loogie ready.
Yeah. And
then Wardlow grabs him by the throat. So then they had the 2-on-1 thing, which is good because in wrestling wise it makes sense because Christian shouldn't be able to hang with Wardlow in 1-on-1. So if he has help, I think it's good. I think Christian has the right mind to pull this off. I think it's going well. This is one of my favorite things on the show. I gotta say, because I'm a big Jarrett fan too, and the Jarrett stuff I'm not digging as much, but the Christian stuff I'm freaking loving, especially the last 2 weeks. But let's move along. We're gonna move to right after this. Orange Cassidy's music hit, and business picked up, baby. Again, over 200 views on our last Orange Cassidy video with the review of the Daniel Garcia match. So he's getting us ratings here on Quantum Flux. And let's see how many segments he was involved in. So he was involved in 3 segments, okay? So he had a match. It was a tag match, okay? Nothing to write home about. Him and Darby Allin beat 2 guys from the firm, Bill and Lee Moriarty, okay? As expected. Then there was a backstage interview, and he said that if anyone wants to fight him for the title, they can go ask Tony Khan, right? He's down. And then later on in the show, it's another interview with Orange Cassidy and Renee tells him 20 people showed up to Tony Khan's office, and Orange Cassidy says he'll take them all on. That's fine. 21-man battle royal at Double or Nothing. Vlad, what do you think of that? What a man, huh? 21 guys.
Yeah, I thought this wasn't your Mark show. I don't understand what's going on. I thought you did that. You're setting up that with Robert later. Anyways, what did I think of this? I mean, it's silly. It's stupid. It's a battle royal. Never AEW have the worst battle royals in the history of battle royals. They're just garbage. But it's fine because this is a garbage belt with a garbage wrestler. It's just going to take up TV time. Everybody, I don't know who's obsessed with him. I'm not sure what's there to like. It's fine. If people are into it, they're into it. I'm giving up on. I told you, people that are viewing that specifically for Orange Cassidy, I've given up on society then. But whatever, it is what it is. And okay, you know, I mean, he's shown a lot. You said he had 3 segments. They were all pretty ridiculous and stupid, and it was what it was. And I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to talk about Orange Cassidy for the rest.
All right, Vlad, not a fan of Orange Cassidy. Robert, come on. He's going to take on 20 guys at the same time. I mean, as a Smark, you got to admit, they're putting him over here. Like, that's a pretty badass thing.
Yeah. So, my opinion on that, I'll give it a Orange Cassidy style thumbs up. Right, anyways, no, in all seriousness though, Vlad mentioned that AEW doesn't do good battle royales. I personally am not a fan of battle royales in general. They don't really interest me because like you could clearly see the majority of the wrestlers not doing much, just like punching each other while they focus on a couple of wrestlers here and there, and then they just take turns. I don't know. I've just never been a fan, so I'm not really that interested in this battle royale that's coming up.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with the whole battle royal thing, but I gotta say, as a man, to accept on all comers, literally 20 people, willing to fight 20 people at once. This guy is incredible.
What does it matter? He could have said 50 people, 100 people. It doesn't.
Well, they're really putting this guy over. They're putting him over, man. I mean, come on. Who says, yeah, I'm down to take on everybody? Even MJF is like a weasel. And Orange Cassidy's like, fine, easy. Well, look, as silly as Orange Cassidy can be, I think this is funny. I don't know. I'm amused by this. I like it.
Well, exactly.
I mean, okay. So what's wrong? What's wrong with the little amusement in wrestling, man? I mean, as far as his matches go, I mean, I mentioned this last week. Sometimes he's a little too lackadaisical, and it doesn't make sense. But as his character is going, I think things are going well. I think this is one of the strongest periods in Orange Cassidy's career. But let's move on.
That's so different than what it was 3 years ago. How is it any different? Okay, fine. Let's move on because I don't understand what the difference is.
All right, I'm going to move on. I have a lot of notes about everything that happened in the Pillars 4-way angle. There was a lot of segments here. There was 5 segments throughout the show. So Darby, real quickly, Darby was in a tag match with Orange Cassidy. They won. Yep. He won with a headlock takeover, which was a deal with him and MJF, you know, about them saying that one of us is going to win with the headlock takeover. I guess it's to embarrass the other one, right? Second segment, Sammy Guevara beat a jobber, and then he cut a babyface promo because he was in his home state, but it was kind of, you know, okay, whatever. Anything you guys remember from this, if you want to comment on later, it's up to you. Then Darby had a backstage interview that Sammy interrupted. He didn't really say much of anything of substance. He said that he's going to make it hard for everyone and that someone has to take the title off MJF, and Darby and Sammy fist bump over that. So they have some sort of mutual respect just to get the title off MJF, I guess. Then there was Roosh versus Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy bumped around for Roosh a lot, but he ended up getting the win by pulling the trunks. Okay. And then La Facción Ingobernable, they attacked Jungle Boy after the match, followed by saves from Sammy and Darby. And then the 3 Pillars face off in the ring. And, you know, Oh, and then the last segment was MJF backstage was watching on screen, and this was his first appearance in the last 2 weeks. And then he got pissed off. Renee wanted to interview him, but he just knocked the microphone out of her hand, and she just stood there looking a little, flustered. So 5 Pillars segments on our way to the Pillars Fatal 4-Way match. I guess I'll start with Vlad again, since we're going with that. Vlad, any thoughts on the Pillars angle tonight with the 2 matches? They had 3 matches, and the promos and everything.
Nothing positive I can't really say about it. I mean, I guess Jungle Boy kind of had an interesting match with Roosh, but I didn't really care about that. I saw that I don't know, he was bleeding, but again, I wasn't watching that closely at this point, so I don't know what happened there. If he gigged himself or what happened there in that regard. No, but this is one of my least favorite MJF angles in a while. It hasn't really held my interest that much. Maybe because he's not always there, and it just hasn't been that great. I think it would have just been better with just Darby and not the other guys involved, to be honest. So it is what it is. I know they have a big thing with the Pillars. It's the 4 branches of the company, the 4 youngest guys. But they're not really that interesting. I mean, Jungle Boy, Sammy, they are what they are. Darby's kind of cool in his crazy way. But, it's one of my least favorite MJF angles, probably, maybe ever. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Robert, how about you? Pillar stuff.
Oh, I dozed on a couple of those. What I do remember is the Darby Allin and is it Orange Cassidy, right?
Orange Cassidy against Moriarty and Bill.
I remember that. That was fine. I like the Roosh versus Jungle Boy match a little bit better. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't remember the Sammy Guevara part at all, so I think I was asleep at that point, and I don't remember seeing MJF at all the whole episode, so I must have missed that too. But what I do remember watching, I thought it was fine.
All right. So there goes Robert's opinion on the Pillars. I mean, I will say, the Roosh Jungle Boy match, I'll agree with Vlad a little bit. It was interesting because they let Roosh kind of get the spotlight early on, dominate, made him look good. I don't understand Roosh really. It's a character they kind of sort of push, but they don't really do anything with. But other than that, I'm kind of with Robert. This was like a night where there seemed to be a lot of matches. It was stacked in terms of matches and angles, but a lot of them kind of made me lose interest, like we'll see later on, like there was some other matches that kind of made me not fall asleep, but tough to watch kind of. And then the Darby Orange Cassidy match I thought was okay. Him winning with the headlock takeover, okay, continuing that old angle, but probably no one really knows what the hell they're talking about. MJF backstage segment, like real quick, I guess they pre-taped that a long time ago. Yeah, there wasn't that much in this here for us. So I'm kind of in agreement with Vlad too. I know we're out of time, but I think these Pillars are kind of getting maybe pushed a little too early. Like they've never been in an angle like this. You can't just throw someone into the world title scene and they haven't even had these are Jungle Boy's first promos, Sammy's first real important promos. So I don't know, maybe it's good practice for them in the future. Maybe they'll get better, but
yeah, I don't feel like it's too early. They have to develop them at some point, right? So I think this is
but in this scene,
I think this is going to be an ongoing thing. This is just the early stages of their rivalry.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That could be possible, but I think they should kind of put them in prominent feuds. Like Sammy hasn't been in one prominent feud before this, basically, other than like TNT title stuff with Scorpio Sky or Matt Hardy or something like that. But I don't know. To me, it just kind of seems rushed for them. But that's just my opinion. We got to move on. All right. We got the Elite. By the way, this episode of Malapert Smarks is being brought to you commercial free today for your listening pleasure. No sponsors. we couldn't land a sponsor today.
We don't even need sponsors. Who needs them?
We need sponsors. Somebody, anybody wants to sponsor us?
This would help.
We need money.
We need sponsors.
All right, moving on.
We continue on.
Yeah, well, let's try to do a good show, so maybe someone will want to sponsor us.
Yeah.
We got the Elite angle with the Blackpool Combat Club. This was also 2 segments today. So it started out very, very early in the show where the Blackpool Combat Club jumped the Young Bucks in the parking lot. Okay. And later on in the night, actually, to close the show, Tony Schiavone introduced this Don Callis. He said it gave him no pleasure to introduce Don Callis. I thought that was a funny line. So he has some security with him because he's expecting Kenny Omega to retaliate. Callis said, quote unquote, he doesn't want to talk about what he did to him. He wants to talk about what Kenny did to him. Because after everything that he's done for Kenny, and then he gets cut off. So we don't know what Kenny did to him. I was listening. I wanted to know. But okay, we don't know. Moxley starts to fight the security guards, trying to get to Callis, but what's it called? Omega, I'm sorry, yeah. And then the Blackpool Combat Club come in to wipe him out, and then the Young Bucks come in to join Kenny Omega, but they're still outnumbered, which leads to Adam Page returning and rejoining the Elite as retaliation for getting screwdrivered by the Blackpool Combat Club the other day, and they cleaned house, and what's his name? Page cut a really fiery promo, and he's officially back in the Elite, and Anarchy in the arena is what we're gonna get, not blood and guts. For a second, I thought it was gonna be blood and guts, but it's gonna be Anarchy in the arena at the pay-per-view. So we got 2 segments for this feud today to review. Anything you want to say about any of it? We'll start with Vlad, because you have seniority here, I guess.
Man, I don't know what to say about this, because these are like 2 of my least favorite groups, and boy, it's hard, man. It's hard because I know a lot. I like individuals that are in this group. Like nobody on the Elite that I like, but I like Bryan Danielson, of course, and Cesaro. But this is not good, guys. There's nothing good about this. Adam Page runs in with his eye patch. I couldn't even remember what happened to that guy. I was like, why is he not? Okay, then I kicked him.
They stabbed him in the eye with a screwdriver. Duh.
Whatever. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, as you will do in wrestling, you stab somebody in the eye with a screwdriver. Duh. Well, that happens all the time. Anyways, whatever, man. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't have anything positive to say, so it just was what it was.
Robert, anything positive to say about this feud? Do you like it at all?
Well, first of all, I actually do like both groups. I just don't like the angle. Yeah, I'm a fan of both groups, and especially Bryan Danielson is one of my favorite wrestlers. But I don't know, this angle is just not doing it for me. I am still looking forward to their matches though, and I think ultimately what I'm looking forward to is that I think what they're gonna build up to is a rematch between Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega at some point, which I would love to see because I really like their first fight. But I don't know, that the angle is just meh for now. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting to me that Danielson hasn't been really involved physically. If you look closely, he kind of like weaseled his way out of that brawl, like kind of just he doesn't get involved. The other guys are beating people down. I don't know, maybe he's not cleared physically or something, or he has like a non-physical clause for the moment or something like that. I have no idea. I just thought that was interesting. Other than that, yeah, the angle about, the Blackpool Combat Club trying to teach the kids by, throwing them into the fire and all that. I guess it hasn't really been doing it for me either. And some of these guys are just they're in that Bret Hart's, school of they're not treating this seriously enough. That's an issue with some of these guys in this particular feud, and the Young Bucks in particular. So if they're trying to make it serious, it's just not coming off as serious to me. And I don't want to beat on it too much because they're trying. Danielson with the whole amateur thing. It's kind of kind of true, but it's not really smacking to a lot of people, is what I'm hearing. But maybe some people really like it. Let's move on from the Elite. We got what do we got here? Okay, let's move on to the tag title angle, the tag team titles. I don't think we've talked to Robert about this angle much at all. It's FTR against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. So
I completely missed this.
All right.
I was out during this angle.
Fine, then I'll give you a bit of a summary then.
Okay.
So Tony Schiavone's in the ring, and he's going to interview Jeff Jarrett and everybody, and they come out, and as soon as they come out on the entrance ramp, FTR attack them and throw Satnam Singh off the stage, which was pretty funny, I thought. He takes a huge bump off the stage into a table, and then Dax gets into it with Jay Lethal, starts ripping off his nice clothes. He's wearing like these really nice pants and really nice shirt. It's just destroying it. And then Cash is messing up Jeff Jarrett, hits him with the chair. The challengers here are really getting screwed up. And guess who comes in for the save? Is Jeff Jarrett's wife, Karen Jarrett, the greatest wife you could have. She low blows Cash Wheeler and turns the tide. And then they all get hit with guitars and chokeslammed by Satnam Singh. So guitar smash for both Dax and Cash, and they come out on top thanks to the lovely and beautiful Karen Jarrett. So Vlad, what do you think about this whole segment here with the tag team title guys getting into a brouhaha? FTR and Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
It wasn't. I mean, okay, I did laugh when Dax threw that. What is his name? Satnam Singh. I mean,
Yeah.
It was a pretty choreographed spot. Like he was just standing there, and he kind of rushed him and pushed him, and he flew on like some kind of. It didn't look that great, but it was kind of funny. I laughed more than like I was like, oh my god. But as far as the angle, it was all right. It got some. I guess it got some heat on the heels, but but there was a lot of stuff like this throughout the show. A lot of run-ins, a lot of afterbirth after the matches. A lot of people getting beat up. It was a constant theme throughout the show. So, I mean, I think it'll be a good match, and they'll put on a good show. These are pretty good wrestlers, good workers, but it is, again, it's just more kind of, there's a little bit of silliness mixed in with that, and I'm not really too fond of that.
Well, Robert, I know you didn't watch this segment, but I don't know if you have any thoughts on this feud at all.
Hey, when I woke up, I just caught the last few seconds. I saw Karen, right? Karen, right?
Karen Jarrett. Yeah, she used to be Karen Angle.
She was in the ring, and I saw like a broken guitar. I saw FTR like lying down in the ring. So I woke up and like, what did I miss? I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on this.
Well, you know what?
That was my thought. What did I miss? That's it.
Well, I'll give you my thoughts. Jeff Jarrett is my favorite wrestler of all times, and I'm so blessed to be in 2023 and get to have like Christian segments and Jeff Jarrett segments. Like, I should really love these shows. Really, I mean, if it was a little better, it would be nice. But I was very happy I was more inclined for the Christian stuff, to be honest, than this stuff, just because the whole angle is kind of screwy and silly. But I was very happy to see Karen Jarrett back, formerly Karen Angle. I don't know if you knew that, Robert. He
I knew
married. You knew that? Yeah, she's so funny. But I was a big fan of her in TNA. I know some people think she's annoying, but Jeff Jarrett and Karen Jarrett are my style of wrestling, man. They know how to get heat, and I was happy to see her, but overall with this angle, it hasn't really been worked extremely perfectly. But I'm still happy to see Jeff Jarrett. I don't think it was great, but I'll take a guitar shot to the head any day. Let's move on. We got Toni Storm and Ruby Soho with Saraya versus Shida and Britt Baker. This was a grudge match, for real, because last week the good guys got over on the heels, the Outcasts. They got spray painted and beat up and humiliated. So this was a chance for the heels to get something back. A lot of Saraya interference, and in the end, Toni Storm spray paints Britt Baker and pile drives her for the win. And then there were two more segments that had to do with this angle. There was a video review that showed how Jamie Hayter got injured. And then there was a backstage interview with Toni Storm, who was all fired up and challenging Jamie Hayter to a title match at the pay-per-view. So I got thoughts on this match and the promo, but I'll go with you guys first. Vlad, anything?
Okay.
You don't have to use the whole minute if you don't want to,
No. Yeah, no. I'll just say that, I said before that, I was hoping that this would be the segment, the angle that you'd skip when you said that you're going to skip one of the segments. I am really down and not feeling anything that's going on with the women in AEW. I mean, individually, some of them are pretty good. Like, they're okay. But this whole feud, I said, has been nonsensical and silly from the get-go. I mean, I know they want to be taken seriously, and I know all that stuff. They're trying to take pride in some of their work. I don't know where the disconnect is between me and these angles, but it's just not happening for me, man. It's just not. I'm not feeling it. Some of them are solid. Some of them are okay. As far as individual characters, like Britt, Jamie Hayter, who's injured. I don't know if I'm guessing it's a legit injury. I don't know. Toni Storm is kind of good. Otherwise, this thing's a disaster, honestly. So I'll leave it at that, man. Let's leave it at that.
Robert, did you catch any of this, or were you sleeping?
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep this very brief. This is not one of the segments that I fell asleep, that I was asleep on, but I wish I was. That's it.
All right.
Well, that's fair.
Well, let me say, I completely disagree with both of you. First of all, the match, I think this was one of the better women's matches I've seen. If you start when they started going home, and you cut out everything else that was in this feud and just start there, I thought this was pretty good. It was worked well with the interference. Finally, they had some good timing with the referee. I thought it was exciting. I thought the ending of this match was good and solid. Some of the best women's stuff I've seen on AEW. And then also, I can't believe you guys wouldn't say anything positive about Toni Storm's promo, because she was jacked up, fired up. Watch this promo again. I think this was as textbook as a promo can be. I can't say anything bad about this promo. This Jamie Hayter Toni Storm promo challenging Jamie Hayter. I thought it was really good, really good.
That was about as animated as I've ever seen her, or that I can remember.
Yeah, dude,
okay,
totally.
Well, if you want to talk about the promo, then yeah, that was fine. But I was thinking more so the match. I don't know. For me, the women's division in WWE is like so much better. So I'm used to that, standard. I don't think AEW matches up well with WWE's women's division. So I don't know.
Well, of course not. In that case, yes, I agree with you. But I thought this was better than most women's segments in AEW. Personally, okay. I mean, maybe you guys just are so down on them that you kind of just don't pay attention to it anymore. But all right, let's move on. We got Tony Khan's announcement finally that he announced last week that he was going to announce. that there was going to be an announcement. So Vlad was right. It's going to be a Collision on Saturday, June 17th. Is that coming up? Next month. A month from now. Okay.
Yeah. Next month.
At 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm assuming. So
Probably.
now that it's official, Vlad, are you ready for another hour of AEW every week?
Oh boy! Oh joy! Well, look, tonight Rampage at least. I mean, not that I watch it, but can we just cut the cord on Rampage? I hear that they cut the cord on like these YouTube shows. Does that break your heart, Kayhan? Because I know you're watching these YouTube shows.
Actually, it does. To be honest, I really liked seeing like indie wrestlers on there that were getting like chances to do jobs, but you know. It was fun. Okay. It was fun to see them work.
The only way the show's going to be at all worth it is if there is any truth to CM Punk coming back and being involved and being heavily featured on that show. If it's just going to be more AEW stuff that's going on continuation of what's going on Dynamite, then just shoot me in the head, because that might be the last straw. That might be it. I don't know if I'll be back. I don't know if I'll recover from that.
Well, Robert, what about you? Can you fit this into your busy schedule?
It's gonna be a struggle, because I just don't see myself watching a wrestling show every Saturday night. I don't know. I'll try to watch as much of it as I can, but I think I'll be missing out on a lot of them. If CM Punk was really gonna be part of it, I'll make more of an effort, but we'll see. However, let me go back to the announcement. What he did announce came as like absolutely no surprise. Like I think everybody saw that coming. But there was one thing that caught me off guard. He was naming like cities and states that the collision, where the collision is gonna happen, the AEW collision show, and then there was one city or state that I thought was pronounced Regina, but he pronounced it Regina. And I'm like, Regina?
Dude, I remember that. Yes, I caught that.
It got your attention too. I'm like, is it really?
I didn't write it down, but I laughed. It's funny that you mentioned.
Like, is he serious? He's saying that with a straight face? Like, is that really how it's pronounced?
Dude, you're right. I gotta go back and see if there's backlash about that online. That's pretty good pickup, Robert.
Pronounced it Regina.
Good pickup. Well, I will say yes. I am struggling as a wrestling podcaster to keep up with all these shows. I can't watch NXT and I can't watch New Japan. I will admit I've tried to, but in the end, it's just too much to keep up with. And I mean, if you guys are just basically saying that you want the main angles to be on Collision, so you could just watch for an hour every week, right? And then screw everything else. I mean, we're gonna have to recalibrate what day we do our podcast too, because if we're gonna maybe we have to do it on Saturday night now. I don't know. I mean, why are they screwing with us? Okay, can't they just do it on Dynamite? What the heck is this? I mean, I don't know. I better be good. That's what I'll tell you. If it's good, then I'll forgive everything, right? If it's good, we don't care. Well, I'll watch it anytime. I'll watch it in frickin' Tuesday morning if it's good. I don't really care. But it better be good if they're going to make us go out of our way to watch this. Anyways, let's move on. I got one last angle here before you guys head off to sleep. It's Chris Jericho against Roderick Strong. They fought, it was a Falls Count Anywhere match in the arena or something? No DQ? What did they call it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What did they call it? Well, it basically was a Falls Count Anywhere match. Like you could get a pin anywhere.
So they fought up to the concourse. Roderick Strong took a suplex through a table, really standing up for his friend here, Adam Cole. Into the stairwell. They were in the stairwell. That was kind of funky. Roderick Strong with the Mr. Softy ice cream. into Chris Jericho's face. Then they went outside the arena, which Jim Cornette called this. I was listening to Jim Cornette last week. He said, how much you want to bet they go outside of the arena, and they're out there because they can't be in the arena. So yeah, that's what happened. They fought all the way outside, and then Adam Cole was there, and they kicked Jericho's ass and pinned him. But anything you have to say about this match, Vlad? I got my own thoughts, but I'll go with you first.
I mean, I don't know, man. I honestly, like I said, I was forwarding a lot. This was not one. This is the one Dynamite I did not watch that closely, so I missed maybe some of the little things like Tony Khan mispronouncing stuff, or maybe some stuff like that. Some hilarious situations like that. But this was, I guess, from what I saw, this was okay if you're going to have like a garbage match for no apparent reason. And this is Roderick Strong's really first singles match in the company, and this is what he's doing. I mean, I guess it's all right. I mean, if it's going to build into an angle with Cole, and I don't know. I'm trying to stay a little bit positive on it, but it's hard because Jericho's involved. I just don't know, man. I don't know where any of this. I don't know where anything is going in AEW. It just doesn't seem like anything is really catching my eye that much or interesting. So, I mean, I hope for the best because I like Adam Cole as a person, but man, I don't know. I just don't know.
Robert, what did you think of this match?
It was okay. I thought Jericho was gonna win though. I felt like they kind of have to build him up as a threat to Adam Cole, right? So he would have to get a win over his Adam Cole's friend. So
Good point.
That's what I predicted would happen. So the way it turned out, I didn't see that one coming. But as a match, it was fine.
Well, I will say that since this is like really the first time they spotlighted Roderick Strong, I liked his work. I like his punches. I think they look pretty good. I'll say that. I like how he stands up for his friends. I think that's admirable. Who would go through all this for? For what, Vlad, would I fight someone like this in a death match if somebody beat up your girlfriend? I don't know. Maybe I would. But that's because you're my best friend. So.
Maybe probably not.
Okay, the thought I had while this was going on was this is good. Okay, like the battle they're having is pretty good. But shouldn't this be Adam Cole having this battle with Jericho and not Roderick Strong? Like this seems like the blow off that they would have had if it was Adam Cole.
Where do they go now? Where do they go from here now? Like,
yeah,
I don't understand.
I also like Robert's point about Jericho losing because yeah, you think he would be trying to get heat for this feud and the match they're gonna have, but I guess that means he's gonna do something pretty evil next week to get his heat back. I guess it's gonna go back and forth. That's what I'm guessing. Because if this is the end and he's already been humiliated and lost, then where was JAS? Where was Jericho Appreciation Society? Shouldn't they have been waiting outside the arena too? So that was disappointing from his boys. But all right, well, I guess that's pretty much all our thoughts on AEW. The one angle I skipped was the main event, Jay White versus Ricky Starks, which to me was one of the worst matches of the night. I don't know if you guys really want to say anything about it. I'll let you, but it was a long match and it had a fuck ending, and not that one of the guys got fucked. The audience got fucked because they made us sit through a match where in the end Ricky Starks said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna hit him with the chair just because I'm frustrated." So what the hell did we sit through that match for? I mean, my least favorite angle, I think. So in this, out of everything we listed, even Orange Cassidy and everything, and that sucks for Robert because this is his Bullet Club boys, and they're using his name. They're coming out as Bullet Club Gold, but this story sucks. I don't want to be mean like that because I'm not in the wrestling business and I have no right to talk, but I'm just saying it as an audience member, and I'm not enjoying this one at all. I think there's nothing there for me. But thank you guys for coming on the show. I think that was pretty succinct. We're under an hour. That's good. We have some extra time. You guys want to take a sports break, Vlad? What about the Lakers?
Oh man.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Down 2-0 now at the time of our recording this. I mean, they looked like they were gonna have this one. They looked like they could have had this one. They were up for a lot of it. Are you disappointed? Do you think they're gonna come back?
Well, I'm disappointed in their fourth quarter play because they played pretty well up until the beginning of the fourth, where they kind of fell apart. They did try to get back. They got back into the game though again and cut it to 2 with like a little over a minute left, but it was a little too late. I mean, they were outscored 20-5 in the first 6.5 minutes of the fourth. You're not going to win against a pretty good team on the road like that. Murray got hot, made a bunch of tough threes. I mean, they're a good team. Denver's a really good team. I mean, that's just the bottom line. I mean, we were right there for both games. We had an opportunity to win both. So I don't think it's over. I think Denver has obviously the advantage because they're up 2-0, but I think the Lakers could easily win the next 2 games at home, and then it just becomes
easily
a dog. Well, I think they easily could. I'm not saying they're going to easily win. What I mean is, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2-2 going back to Denver, but yes, disappointed because they could have won one of these 2 games and then they'd be in great shape, but not disappointed in the sense that I think it's all hope is lost. I think there's still some fight in Lakers, and I think they can still make this a series.
Before you came on, Robert said the same thing. He thinks they still have a chance.
Yeah, look,
and
in both games, it was very, very close, and the Lakers lost on the road and barely lost. So sometimes it's not just the loss, but like how you lose, and it's not like they were. It's not like it wasn't anywhere near competitive, right? I do think they still have a chance. I mean, it's not as great of a chance as if they actually got a split, obviously.
Of course.
But the chance is still there.
Well, when Robert said that he thought that they still had a chance, I told him, yeah, they still got some kind of chance. They've got no chance. No chance. This series is over, bro. It's over. Nuggets in 5. If you wanted to win, you should have won one of those 2 games. How many more chances do you think you're going to get? That was your chance right there.
Yeah, because series are always over when the home team wins the first 2 games in the series. That's the way it's always gone historically.
Denver's going to get one of these next 2, at least. They're going to get one of these next 2, and they're going to finish it out in Denver. Mark my words on
it's
Quantum
possible.
Flux.
I'm not saying it's impossible, but based on what I saw the first 2 games, I don't think so. I think the Lakers can definitely win in LA. So I definitely don't think that's a lock that Denver's going to win one of these. I mean, they lost 2 games to Phoenix, and I think Phoenix is a worse team than the Lakers. So I don't think that this is. I don't think this is over.
All right. You positive Laker fans, you. That's good. That's cool.
We
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that it's not over. Not so much that they're going to win the series. I think it'd be pretty amazing if they did end up coming back and winning 4 games. I'm just saying that I think they can get it back to Denver 2-2. I actually think that can happen.
Well, I agree with you that it's not over. It's not really over until the last whistle blow.
Well, yeah. Obviously, until you lose your 4th game, I get that.
Yeah, the odds are not in the Lakers' favor at the moment.
No, of course.
But it's not. It's not like an insurmountable thing to come back and win series.
Does any of you want to say that you think the Lakers are going to win? Come on, give me something that I could put on Instagram.
I'm not willing to make a bet. I'm just saying they can win.
I've already
it's still possible.
Yeah, I've already said that I expect them to come back tied 2-2. But I did not say I expect them to win the whole series because.
Oh, you expect them to come back tied 2-2? All right, well that's something right there. So you guarantee the Lakers are going to win the next 2 games.
I mean, if you want me to say it, fine. I'll say that. You could put that in the
Say it the
script.
way Charles Barkley said it.
Yeah, I guarantee the Lakers are going to be tied 2-2 when we go back to Denver.
All right. When's that next game? When is that game? Is it on Saturday?
Game 3 is Saturday.
Shit. All right. Well, I'll see if I can watch it. I might have to work that night, but we'll see. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate this more than you can imagine. And let's think of more different things to talk about. I'm gonna come up with more topics for the newer shows. Today, all we talked about was AEW because I had this situation with the dog. I couldn't really spend any time preparing anything, but hopefully in the future we'll talk some more wrestling, some more classic wrestling. The modern wrestling, I guess we got to talk about too, because it's new and it's in the news. But thank you guys for being here on the show with me, man. I love you guys.
All right, man. It's good being here, man. Oh, you're giving us the
No, this is the Bullet Club.
Oh no. If we're not doing the NWO thing, then we're not.
Well, it's now the Bullet Club thing. It's
the Bullet Club.
No. The Bullet Club Gold, the Bullet Club Elite, the Bullet Club my ass. Okay, whatever.
Stop it, Vlad. A lot of our fans are Bullet Club fans. Come on.
Yeah, well.
All right, guys. Well, I'll talk to you next week. Good night, Vlad. Good night, Robert. Have a good night.
All right. Take care, guys.
See you.
All right, bye.